this time. Okay. I'm Dr. Andrea Christian Parks. Welcome to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. I wanted to start today. For those of you who know me and watch me, you can kind of ignore this part real quick. But what I want you to know is I want to answer the question about what it is I actually do to help people lose weight. Let's start with, I'm an OBGYN, so I've taken care of women for decades. I am a life and weight loss coach. I'm a holistic nutrition coach. I have all this training, right? But number one, first and foremost, I'm a Christian. And the way I teach weight loss is built 100% on the principles in the scriptures. So what does that even mean? What it means is that I know way more than I probably should know, which, it is what it is. I know a lot about the body, how it works, why people don't lose weight, why people gain weight. But I also believe that the body is designed by God, and God knows what he's doing. And he also knows how to help us get to our best, healthiest self. Okay, so knowing all of that, what are we talking about today? So if you've been watching my content, you know I've been talking about the two major pillars of weight loss: hunger and fullness. I don't care what you eat. I don't care if you're on a vegan diet, a keto diet. If you are violating the boundaries that God has placed in our bodies for hunger and fullness, you will not be successful at weight loss. Not in the long term, maybe in the short term, but in the long term, when it counts, when you really are trying to get down to what is a healthy, normal weight for your body, you can't violate the principles of hunger and fullness. You just can't. Because anytime you overeat and you put additional food in the body that it doesn't need, you will store it. That is just how it works. Now, I'm not telling you have to starve. I'm not telling you need to be hungry all the time. I am telling you that if you want to lose weight, you will wait for the signal from God to eat. That's hunger. And you will stop eating when God gives you the signal in your body. And that's fullness. Fullness is where we've been for the past several weeks. We've been talking about a very comfortable, polite, quiet feeling that says, I'm done. That's enough. It's not a scream. It's not a yell. It's not a bloated, stuffed, oh my gosh, I need to lay down. I need to unbuckle my pants. I need to put on my comfy clothes kind of fullness. It's very quiet. It's actually a feeling at the end of the meal. You have energy. You have this ability to go out, go for a walk, do some things, bend over, pick up stuff. You feel good. Most of us are eating beyond that point. That's where the itis comes from. That's where feeling sluggish and slow after meals comes from. So that's not what we're going for. That's too much. So what we want to do is eat till we're politely full. And today I want to talk about this one thing that so many of us do. We don't even realize we're doing it. There's this whole narrative going on in the background of your brain that is running the show of the actions you're taking, of how much you're eating, of all of that. And if we don't know what's happening, it's very hard to address. So a big part of the work I do with my clients is based on 2 Corinthians 10:5. Take every thought captive and make it obedient to Christ. Now, in the realm of weight loss, of hunger and fullness, of the signals that God has given us to obey so that we lose weight, that concept is very, very important. Holding on to, catching the thoughts, recognizing them, figuring out what are they doing, what actions are they driving, is very, very powerful. Because for most of us, we're on autopilot when it comes to food. We're on autopilot when we're deciding to eat. We're on autopilot while we're eating. And then at the end of the meal, we realize we've overdone it and it's too late to undo. So how do we stop eating when we're politely full? And if you want some more help with this, go back and look at some of the recent videos about this in my live section on the YouTube channel. But one of the things that's happening is there's a particular way that we think about the end of the meal that is absolutely ruining a stopping in time to be politely full versus overfull. Okay, so let's get to that. The thought that we have that tells us to keep eating when we could stop is, pay attention because it's really quiet and quick. This one thought that messes us up regularly is, one more bite won't matter. You ever thought that? And maybe you didn't even recognize it was happening. You're just looking at the plate. There's more food, and you go, I mean, it was so good, and just one more bite. I mean, it's just one more bite, no big deal. I mean, I think I'm good, but this looks so good. I just want one more bite. The problem is not one more bite. The problem is it won't matter. We actually say that as justification for overeating pretty regularly. I mean, one cookie won't matter. Oh, a little ice cream won't matter. One more bite won't matter. Another slice of pizza won't matter. I mean, it's just, especially we do this with foods that we think are good foods, things that we think are righteous, apples, carrots, lettuce, salads. We think, oh, well, I mean, it's fresh fruits and vegetables. It's okay. Here's the thing. You can overeat anything. Now, it's harder to get enough volume of, I mean, if you were eating plain lettuce, really hard to overdo that. To be honest, nobody's eating plain lettuce. You're just not. You're eating lettuce with dressing or, chicken on top or all kinds of different veggies or falafel, or it depends on whether you're plant-based or not. And whatever you're doing is fine. But just know that it's not that you're overeating a salad. It's what's all on the salad that you're overeating. It's not the lettuce. It's not the one apple. It's not a few carrot sticks. That's not what it is. Anytime you over distend your stomach and eat more than your body is asking for, you're overeating. And you can do that with anything. So here's the thing. When we are overeating, we think there's this thought in the background going, oh, but I'm going to be hungry later, or I need more. This doesn't seem like enough. Instead of really trusting that in your body, that signal that's saying I'm finished is right. It's accurate. It is specific and personalized to your body, to your activity level, to your level of need for energy, for your size, height, weight, all the hormonal balance environment that you're in right now. It's right. The signal that says stop is correct. Now, it's okay if in 3-4 hours you're hungry again, because that means it's time to eat again. No problem. If you overeat, the signal for hunger may not come back for 6, 7, 8 hours. And usually that freaks you out because you're like, but it's time for dinner. I want to eat dinner. Why am I not hungry for dinner? You see, and then you get in this whole nother trap. But the reason you're not hungry is because you overate at the last meal. So what do you do? First of all, you've got to be aware that this thought is happening, that overeating is possible with just a couple of bites, that thought, one more bite won't matter, it's false. So what you want to do is recognize, hear it when it happens in your brain, and then question it. Just know that it's a thought, it's something you've been practicing, it's something your brain has offered you before, you've listened to before, you've agreed with it before, and you've kept eating before, and your brain goes, okay, this one works, let's keep offering this thought. Well, now you get to listen to that thought and say, well, no, maybe not. Maybe it does matter. Let's see what happens if I don't eat like that. Let me describe one more thing that happens when we ascribe to the thought, one more bite doesn't matter. When we keep eating in a way that really encourages overeating. Even a few bites at the end of the meal, you go, oh, I feel uncomfortable. I don't feel just satisfied. I feel distended and full and bloated, and you just feel kind of yucky. Okay. That also is in the scripture. Let me give you a good example of that. So in Proverbs 25, verse 19, it says, some of you already know this one. It says, if you find honey, eat just enough. Too much of it, and you will vomit. Now, have you ever been at the end of a meal and you go, oh, I wish I had stopped sooner. I wish I had just packed it up and taken it home. I wish I hadn't eaten so much. It's this principle in Proverbs 25 at work. You have something good to eat, something delicious. Eat just enough. Enjoy your food, but don't go beyond just enough. It makes you feel sick. And God talks about it in Proverbs 25. So I want you to think about this the next time you sit down for a meal. Consider, slow your meal down and eat just enough. And watch, the weight is coming off. If you need more help, you want to see my resources, I want you to go over to either my website, www.drandreachristianparks.com, or I have a new workbook out. So for those of you who like to have something in hand that you can either type on or write on and kind of work through some of this stuff instead of just listening and thinking, I want you to go get my workbook. Go to YouTube. If you're not on YouTube right now, go to YouTube and you go to my page. Right under the description, there's a live link for my workbook. Okay, I'm going to put the link right here in the description, like in the comments, and you can go get it. All right, it is free. It's nothing you have to do. You don't have to, nothing. You just get the workbook and get going. I'm here to help if you need anything. I'm so glad you're here. Hey, Valerie, I will see you all next time. Bye.